Alright, chapter 14, miscellaneous equipment. Mixing equipment, drilling equipment, compressor, the air equipment, miscellaneous construction maintenance equipment provided with the Navy construction for support specific construction and maintenance operation. This chapter covers the characteristic basic operation, mixing equipment, drilling equipment, composed air equipment, and miscellaneous construction, maintenance equipment, the types of equipment play with a vital role in the Navy construction force. Therefore, the equipment operator should become familiar with the capabilities of the equipment, how it can be used and serve the purpose, whether it's designed. Concrete transit mixer truck. Concrete transit mixer, sometimes called the TM, or the traveling concrete mixer with a figure 14. When a truck carries the mixture in the water tank, which will operate with the can at a proper time, introduce the required amount of water into the mix. The operator picks up the dry ingredients batch plan along with the shit that tells them how much water to be introduced in the mix. The mixer drum is kept revolving in the route with the job at the job site, so the dry ingredients do not segregate. With the transit mixer, the use of the mixing concrete 70 to 100 revolution drums at a rate rotation designed to the manufacturer mixing speed are usually required to produce a specified uniform number more than 100 revolutions. At the mixing speed should be all revolutions should be all revolutions at 100 should be rated with the rotation speed designated with the manufacturer agitating speed. Agitating speed is usually 2.5 to 6 revolutions per minute. Mixing speed is generally 6 to 18 rotations per minute. Mixing a long period of time with the high speed above the 1 or more hours can result in the concrete strength loss of the tank, but rise excessive loss in trained air and the accelerated slump loss. Concrete mixed in the transit mixer should be delivered 1.5 hours before the drum and revolved 300 times after the introduction of the water, cement, and the aggregates. The cement with the aggregates, the mixture aggregates should always use the operator with the limit of the volume of spread of rotation designated by the manufacturer. Or a discharge chute. The operator must use the proper chute for the delivery site with the truck before delivering the concrete. Open trough chute should be metal or metal lined. Figure 13-14, one should the concrete transit mixture, preferably round bottom large enough to guard against overflow. With the 14-2, the mixable minimum slope should be determined with the condition of the concrete discharge with the chute. Quality control person, job site provided with the guidance in the area. When possibility, you should install the down pipe on the end of the chute that help the concrete from the segregating of the coming off the end of the chute. Operation, be sure to read the operator's manual the type of the concrete mixer with the U operating. Give it the special attention in the following. Ensure the change drip oiler is filled with the term of the engine, beginning with the operation. Check the oil level, the hydrostatic drive unit, and the sight glass. Check the water tank meter valve of the onboard water system following the operating condition. The clean tank and all the valves are clear. Cleaning. Give special care to the cleaning of the transit mixer, beginning with each of the work area of the mixer should be covered with the oil, preventing cement and the concrete from sticking with the paint and bare metal. After loading the concrete with the discharge for the mixer, the operator should wash off all the excess concrete and mixer drumming on the blades discharge chute, opening in the discharge chute before it changes to harding. Spray with 15 to 25 gallons of water into the drum with the rotating with the cleaning of the inside of the drum as well. With remove all the grout which may be collected by the water nozzle during the discharge. Wash down the hose provided with the mixer clean with the areas accessible with the outside. Caution: consult your supervisor about any environmental regulations that require. Show the down pipe and the chute with the figure chutes in for the discharging the concrete. Collection of the diversion water with a mixture of equipment after the plant flush a maximum of 150 to 250 gallons of water depending on the size of the mixer into the drum. With the flush water into the drum, rotate the drum in the mixing direction a few minutes, then discharge the flush water maximum during RPM. Next, complete the cleaning mixture with a particular around the discharge and never pound the bottom of the drum. Loose from the material as certain for the procedure for this may cause the dent with the lumps in concrete, cement, and stick. During the cold weather, water tank with the lumps and lines must be drained to prevent the possible damage of the freezing. Mixing blades inside the drum must be kept and clean and free with the belt with the concrete. If not cleaned properly, blades of the drum water will drown. This can result in the implant and proper balancing the curve of the blades and should be chained with the belt when they're using hard face surfacing. If the minor repairs require the load transition mixer with the transit mixer of the shop, the quick fix with the downtown gone to be for more than an hour. Mix and 5 pounds of sugar concrete retardant to keep the concrete from setting up inside the truck. Though a small amount of sugar, 5 pounds, acts as a retarder. However, the large amount will act as accelerated. The quick fix is not impossible. The concrete must be removed safely, quickly as possible. Either check with the hydraulic adapter and can be hooked up to the transit mixer operated with the drum. Discharge of the concrete. Move the access hatch for the drum and roll the drum until the access for the hatch is facing downward, washing the concrete out if possible. Like most concrete equipment, transit mixers, when not operated safely, can injure and kill a person with damage property. The transit mixer operator keep in mind with the following guidelines. Transit mixers have heavy 70 gram with stability, but the further degree of the weight of the load use extreme caution when traveling over an uneven terrain. Always use caution used in a signal man when backing on the job site. Remember to secure the discharge of the chute with the chute and lock the right side with the truck travel to make sure of the stop of the making of the adjustment. Observe the environmental regulations governing the disposal of waste, wash water to the mixture, avoid prolonged scan over the contact with the concrete and cement. Mobile concrete mixer plant. The mobile concrete mixer plant, sometimes called the concrete mobile, with a combination material transport with a mobile concrete mixing plant, figure 14.3, with a heavy construction force. Unit mounted with a trailer carried with sufficient unmixed material such as cement, sand, corsage, green aggregates, water, and any chemicals required. A special mixing specification of the job site. Operation: the trailer mounted concrete mobile carry for the cement with the coarse aggregate with the divided bins mounted in the unit with the cement aggregate with separate located across the rear of the unit. The sand with the aggregate for the carry for each for the side of the unit. Water is carried with a single tank mounted with the front of the aggregated bins and pumped in the next auger. The sand aggregates them proportional accurately make weight and volume to the opposite simultaneously with a mixture and cement with the material fed with the system of the charging and the mixed auger with the conveyor of the rear of the unit. At this point with the predetermined amount of the water into the mixed auger with the action combined auger and pod will homogenize the mix of the ingredient water rapidly through the continuously produced continuous flow with a uniform quality concrete. The mixing action continuous process to proceed with until aggregated bins are empty. On the other hand, mixing the delivery may be stopped in time to start again with the will. Operative permits production with the balance and the demands the placing of the finished groove and the other jobs requirements. When cleaning the concrete mold, you must cycle the aggregator to remove all the sand and aggregate with the cement and excess of the material in the bin. Auger will part and freeze the components. Alright, 1314 shows the mobile concrete mixing plant, shutter counter, auger, water flow meter, flow control valve, water toggle switch, auger lift-off switch. Show the upper view, the diesel fuel tank, battery, air filter, aggregator bin, center bin, auger lifter, the air compressor, diesel engine, water tank, and then they show the water tank, air compressor, diesel engine, thermometer, tachometer, engine oil, pressure, engine temperature gauge, pressure gauge, main water supply, water filler, vibrator, main shutter, water temperature, lifting ring, air lubricator, cement, vibrator, water pressure gauge, water pump valve, hydraulic motor, water pump, shutter controls, unit tie downs, engine amp, meter, ignition key starter, and power light indicator, oil gauge reset button. Alright, safety operatives assigned with the concrete mobile must review thoroughly with an understanding technical manual before operating the plant. A few safety precautions when operating the concrete mobile areas are as follows. To follow all preventive maintenance procedures, do not allow any foreign material in cement bin, do not allow particles larger than 1.5 inch aggregated bin, do not allow the water lines flow immediately with the freeze in the water, do not run the water pump dry, never attempt to repair the machine while in operation, always turn on power off, the source off, keep the entire body clear of all moving parts, never attempt to walk on the top of the aggregated bin from the cement bin to the water tank, use the ladder, never walk or stand, use the auger, never climb inside of the aggregated bin, and use the small pole to dislodge any aggregated that has been bridged, never enter the cement bin while operating, in operation there are moving parts inside the bin. Earth augers. Earth augers are rotary drill with a helix screw through the thread on drill hole with the called augers or fit lighters. Augers come in the truck or skid mount with a handheld figure 14.4 of the screw with the 5-ton tactical auger commonly used in 14.4 shows the auger type. In the Navy construction force known as 14.4, they have the drill boom lays in the down with the extra auger heads on the stored in the unit with the trucks. Also can also set the pole poles. Operation procedure many vary among the makes for the model with the earth augers there. So, to be sure, the consult with the manufacturer manual, the specific earth auger using earth augers operational techniques under the circumstances described in Figure 14.5 show the auger control how the auger is positioned using these controls. Leveling valve lever that allows the tilting with the shaft to the right or left and using the level spirit guide to the plumb auger shaft that use the support the jacket operating of the auger, the hard pan, and the Bragaki saw to keep the auger from bouncing. In order to not depend on the accuracy of the level leveling, use the small builder's level to use the auger safe machine. Raising and lowering elevating valve lever to use the raise and lower the auger shaft. Transportation 14 by drill retraction. Drill the auger, then gave the auger clutch lever to increase the engine speed, pulling back on the throttle lever to push the forward feed level lever to lower the auger to the ground. 14.5 VUC. No, do not overspeed the auger running the engine with lower speed enough that the texture of the material will be working. When the auger is deep enough to is into the ground, the cover of the cuttings disengage the auger clutch and pull back on the feedback valve lever to raise the auger from the hole. After the auger has cleared the hole, the auger engage the auger clutch lever to rotate the auger. To clear the bits of cutting, remember the auger, push the rod handle throttle with the lower the engine speed, repeat the procedure until the hole is drilled to reach the depth. 14.5 shows the User auger control position augers, leveling valve lever, elevating valve lever, feed valve lever, tilt left, tilt right, leveling spirit level A, lower raise and lower level B, for B, and C, retract and drill. Figure 14.6, a continuous flight auger. Augers of earth movers, continuous flight augers, or single flight augers. The augers are attached with a drill shank with a square driven connected to the continuous flight auger. Usually comes inside of the 5 to 12 inch diameter, various length. The 5-inch auger can drill about 100 feet with a suitable material. 110 inch from the auger is limited to about 40 feet. The single flight auger is lifted with every 8 tension and penetrate, clearing the cutting of measuring 14 to 36 inches of diameter. Single flight augers are limited to depth of about 15 feet. Various sizes of the auger heads are available with different job specifications. Most of the feature of the advanced center pilot cutter that helps the drill with their whole alignment and straight, making the cutting easier. The larger auger heads shown in figure 14.9 should be slightly larger than the auger flights and not binding, sticking in the hole. The heads may also be made with different materials to make the unlikely soil conditions. Cutting edges and teeth should be seal hardened in various means, such as the tungsten carbide or worn broken. Teeth may be built with a hard surfacing teeth and sometimes called fingers, are generally detachable or reversible. Alright, show the auger boring heads. And then your 4-9 auger boring head nomenclature: head, flight, and teeth, finger, and pilot cutter. Alright, drilling resistant control with the rate of the prevent the threat of the penetration of the portion of the turning, the speed, material for the cut with the grip and threads the force out with the hold, the screw, the conveyor action. The flights are made with the section proportional feed length with the drill unit and connect with each other bolting and pinion. Safety: few precautions with the operating with an auger are solved. Obtain the digging permit, the drilling and the boring, have the underground or utility obstruction marked, and identify the traveling of the auger truck. Make sure the all attachments screwed properly. Always use the sound horn on the backing guide with the backing auger. Do not travel the auger bit with attached with the drill shank. Practice the result of the destruction of the drill shank inner seal. Do not allow all personnel to stand near the auger. The boring holes. Do not allow the person to stand near the auger when slinging the move of the auger bill. Boom. Do not exceed the capacity of the auger when pulling or setting the poles. Do not remove the object from the auger when the auger is running. When boring in a material unknown capacity, run until the low speed. Always protect the personnel from the open hole with placing the caution tape to cover the ground over the holes and illuminate the area with the light of the night. Air compressors. A compressor for the machine with the compressor air for the initial intake with the pressure for the higher exhaust pressure for the production of the valve. And the compressor consists of the power system, power source of the compressor unit, the accessory of the equipment, the gasoline and the diesel engine provide with the power of the operate the compressor. Most compressors are used in the Navy construction force govern the pressure control system and adjust for the compressor at the maximum pressure for the 100 pounds per square inch. Compressor units are available. The reciprocating rotary and screw design compressors are classified in either single stage or multi-stage. Single stage compressors has one compressing element, the compressor for the air for the intake of the pressure for the final discharge. For the one with the SEP, the multiple stage compressor has more than one compressing element. The first stage compressor air is due immediately intermediate pressure that is through one or more of the additional stage final discharge pressure for the multiple stage system is most efficient with a single stage system, but their air cover the air cooling that operates between the stages reduces the buildup of the pressure due to the temperature rise. All military construction compressors that govern pressure control, so the reciprocating pressure of the control system cover the engine idle with the suction valve that remain open while the pressure reaches the set with maximum air pressure drops below the set minimum. The pressure control system cover the engine to increase the speed of the suction valve and close the starting compression cycle. The rotary compressor over the governor verifying the engine speed. The engine operates automatically speed need with the compressor of the air supply depending on fairly constant pressure when the engine is slow with the idle to cover the low with the demand with the valve with the throttles mount with the free air with the main enter the air compressor. Or the screw compressor output with the control that automatically provides a smoother, uninterpreted capacity for the full load, not so low with the response with the demand for the air. The capacity is achieved with the floating speed engine control with the variable inlet compressor. Alright, compressor capacity. The capacity for the air compressor is determined the amount of free air for the sea level, the compressor for the specified pressure for the 100 psi per unit under the condition of the 68 degrees Fahrenheit relative to humidity 38%. Capacity expressed in cubic feet per minute is usually included with the nomenclature for the compressor for the number of the pneumatic tools will operate with the one time with the air compressor dependent on the air requirement. Each of the tool, for example, the 55-pound class rock drill requires 95 cubic feet per minute over the air at 80 psi with the 200 cubic feet per minute compressor air supply. Air to the operative two drill with the combined requires 190 cubic feet per minute. However, the third switch drill is as if the compressor will combine with the demand the 285 degrees, 885 cubic feet per minute condition that overloads compressor tools reset when the serious wear. Note when the pressure of the volume air of the pneumatic tool drops to 10% below the design minimum, the tool efficiency reduces to 41%. The compressor location, install the compressor unit so that as close to the level of possible compressor design permits. 15-degree lengthwise, 15 degrees sideways alignment with the out level operation engine not compressed with limiting factor. The unit of the operated with the out level should be used the following: keep the engine crankcase oil level to the full mark within the unit level. Ensure the compressor oil gauge is shown with the full unit out level. The compressor air system. Compressor air system consists of one or more compressors, each with the necessary power source for regulating the intake of the air filter, cooler, the air receiver, the connecting pipe with the distributing system with the carrier of the air points to you for the objection installing of the compressor air system to provide enough air to the work area of the pressure adequate to efficient operation of the pneumatic tools. Make construction jobs that require them the cubic feet per minute one compressor can be reduced all terrains conditions to create the problems distance further than from the compressor to operating tool. Since the airline hoses cover the loss of the friction loss pressure with friction loss the distance further than 200 feet, the system is devised efficient transmission, compress air over long distances. The system is manifold figure 1410. Methods of manifolding compress. Component compressor should have approximately the same time loading and unloading pressure, receiving tank, check valve, and manifold and service valves. A air manifold is a large diameter pipe that transmits compressed air for the one or more compressors of the considerable distance without friction line loss. For the construction work of the manifold, usually constructed with a 6-inch diameter pipe with a check valve with the pipe size carrying 1,200 cubic feet per minute with an output of 600 cubic foot. Air compressors at 100 psi with less than 35,000 pound per pressure loss of 100 feet linear. One or more compressor pumps are into the manifold pressure at 100 psi are made that they put along with the manifold and installed with the outlet valves connecting airlets and the pneumatic tools. The different cause and different type of the compressor should not be used with the same manifold as reference for the pressure control system rotary with reciprocating with a screw compressor could be cause one of the compressors to be overloaded while the other is idle. Any drop in the pressure between the compressor and the point of the permanent loss because of any of the distribution important element of the compressed air system when playing the air system should be observed the following steps. Pipe size should be large enough to ensure the proper pressure drop between the compressor and the point, but it does not exceed 10%. Extremely long distribution of the line should be have the air received near the fire ends of the points of the occasional use that many demands for the compressor air, but only after the instant storage capacity make near such points prevent excessive drop in line pressure. Each header main should be provided with the outlets close as possible to the point, but the use of the permanent short lengths from the avoid large pressure drop them through the hose. The outlet should be also located at the top of the pipeline to prevent carryover the hand condensement. Moisture of the tool condensating drains should be positioned correctly long enough to head over the main line. Safety. General safety cautions when the air compressor is fouled. Be sure the intake of the air is cool and free of the flammable gas and vapors. Do not permit flammable materials to touch the air discharge pipe. Never operate the compressor through the faulty gauge. Never kink the hose to stop the airflow to keep the hose clamps tight. Before starting the air compressor, check the safety valve, pressure valve, the regulator to see that they are working properly. Do not leave the compressor for the starting unless they are using safe control. Unloading the governing device to work properly. Do not run an air compressor faster than the speed recommended with the manufacturer. Use only a great amount of the oil recommended with the manufacturer. Use only a high flash point oil lubricated with the air cylinders, air compressor. Keep the compressor tanks accompanying with the piping with the cleaning to guard against the oil vapor explosion. Cleaning of the intake air filters regularly. Use only soapy water with suitable non-toxic, non-flammable solution with the cleaning of the compressor intake with the filters, cylinders, the air compressor. Air cylinders and air passive never use benzene, kerosene, and other light oils that clean these materials. These oil vapors are easily form the mixture that highly explosive under compression. Secure the engine on before adjusting and repairing the air compressor. Before working and removing any part of the compressor, make certain the compressor is secure, but it cannot be started automatically, accidentally that the air pressure for the compressor is relieved completely. Always ensure all the valves between the compressor and receivers are closed. Alright, be careful with the compressed air with the close range. Can put out eyes and burst eardrum. The color surface skin burn. Always wear impact the goggles and safety glasses. Dual hearing protection when you use the compressed air. Never use the compressed air to blow the dust off skin, clothing, skin, or hair. When transporting compressor or any other towed items, ensure the pulling unit meets specification. Include the 12-bar horsepower heating with the height of the towing pintle with the not too high or low may cause the damage. For the tongue, ensure that all electrical hookups and fitting of the right length when parking. Ensure the parking brake is applied with wheels are choked. The safety chains must be proper size and length for the skirt in figure 411. Pneumatic tools can be either the type of the side of the compressor along as the PSI when the cubic feet per minute require the tool for the Navy construction force. Pneumatic tools are normally stored and checked out from the central tooling room with any of the air supply hoses. When checking out the tools, should run the tools needed for the inline oiler is needed to provide lubrication of the tool. The following tool manufacturer recommendation correct lubrication: pavement breaker, jackhammer. The pavement breaker assembly rotor rock drill hammer. The pavement breaker consists of the position moving the chamber to under the pressure that adds about 30 to 9 pound ounce of major working. The pavement breaker is shown figure 1413 with the the rotational position of the no variation speed responsible the major difference between the pavement breaker and the rotary rock driller hammer. Figure 412 shows the inline oiler, and the figure 411 shows the air compressor, towing tongue, safety chains, oil cooler. Pavement breakers are attached in figure 414 of the oil point, chisel point, asphalt cutter, and the clay spade. Okay, you show the pavement breaker in 413, 414, your air attachment, oil attachments, oil point, chisel point, and its asphalt cutter, clay spade. Alright, moil point is commonly used for the breakup of the pavement with the rock and the asphalt concrete with the moil point and solid bar with the cars. Gates hardened soil with the point at one end of the shank of the upside with the coiler at the other. Advanced moil point and sharp point with the allow with the first and the small moil with the slowly dipping widen until with the slide with the point with the full contact with the rock and the effects of widening splitting an object. Chisel point is constructed like the moil point with the air for its point with the points makes the chisel point the best for the trimming corner with the splitting seam. The rock also will be run the hardening and pan and trenching in the bottom of this construction project beneath with the chisel point slice off the rock with the desired graded elevation. Adjust the asphalt cutter. The primary use of the asphalt cutter is to trim the cutting edge of the blade of asphalt as major excavation, not harming existing surface. One good example is asphalt patchwork. In your clay spade, is used for loosening and compacted clay, the dressing of the foot edges. Handheld rotary rock drill jackhammer. Handheld pneumatic rock drill hammer. There's a piston rotary until designed mainly with the hard rock driller. However, the quick resistance soft medium formation of the component of the drill are shown in figure 1416 with the consist of the back head group of the cylinders are even with the front head group of the back head group that consist of the four position throttle handle living air inlet cylinder units consist of the cylinder within the reciprocating position. The front head of the group consists of the chuck, the retainer, latch, anvil. The drill is designed with the directly drilled down drill stem seal into the bottom of the hole with the blowout the rock cuttings. Four classes of the rotary drill hammers are as follows. The first class, the light drill with a weight of about 15 pounds. With the 15 classes used for the drilling shallow hole and quarry operation. Second class, the light drill with weighing 25 to 40 pounds. The class is used for the light work such as pull-out holing, drilling, concrete. Third class is weight about 40 to 50 pounds used for the drilling limestone and other soft rock. And fourth class is a handheld drill weighing 50 to 65 pounds. Class used for the drilling the holes up to 60 and during quarry operations. Note that all these drills use a hollow drill and are built automatic rotation. Alright, 415 handheld rotary rock drill, hammer drill bit, drill seal, front head group, cylinder unit, air connection, back head groper. Alright, 416 components of the handheld rotary rock. Seal retainer drill, steel with a drill threaded with a drill seal with a drifter's chuck, piston stem, piston, blower valve handle with a ripple nut, the air control for blowing for the rifle bar rotating piston, throttle valve handle, ratchet paw, air control valve drill, and handheld bolt. Alright, your handheld rotary rock drill that you the quarry operation, maybe the dry drill, the blower dry with the wet drill, the dry drill allow with very little path through the drill seal with the drilling, thereby should be 30 seconds to below 60 seconds of the time is running the drill always below enough to air pass the cutting edge of the blowing out of the whole drill. The seal of the drill comes in less than 2, 4, 6 feet. Tips is made with a carbon insert. The diamond is a star. Blower drill always stay supplied with the air with the passes through the drill seal with the help to remove the cutting for the hole with the hammer running with the type also permits also passing drill with when using a hammer is not running. The wet drill provides constant supply of water through this drill seal with the hammers running. Lubrication. Most rock fit drill failures complaints result from the bad lubrication. Check current lubrication of rock drill to develop depends on the following: selection, proper lubrication, application, enough lubrication of all working parts. Lubrication must have the correct viscosity, uniform rate, feed of the made in the temperature. Besides being just viscosity thick enough, the good rock drill oil must have the following: the high film strength with ability to withstand shock loads, no blowing, readily interfere with valve action, no fog with exhausting toxic fumes, no corrode or any operation condition, lubricating perfectly, maximum drill speed at most high and low temperatures, not form gummy left over the either hot or cold air. Inline oiler must be with each of the drill. The drill manufacturer recommended installing inline oilers within 10 to 12 feet within the drill. The oiler has two fire drills, and the oil droplets tend to gather inside of the hose of the connection, resulting in sporadic delivery of the oil drill that can result in serious damage to the drill. Or safety. Before operating a drill, ensure the drill seal of the bits are good in condition. Drill seal center holes should be clear of the shanks, should be flat and square, not chipped around off. The rock bits should be hard and dull. The rock bits are hard on the drill, and operate to avoid the injury of yourself with the fellow workers. Operate the drill as follows: never pound or stuck steel. Nothing is achieved if you damage your drill the bit. Never retract the seal from the full throttle. This made the damage to the front and with the head parts. Never strike the drill with the heads of the dent with the cylinder cover without the damage. Never drag along the ground because of the exhaust ports or other openings and scoop up the dirt that cause the trouble and possible failures. Blow out air supply hose and flush out the water hose connecting the drill to rid of the dirt. Ensure the drill is well lubricated. Just the inline oiler steel shanks that allows you to show the fill of the oil. Keep the drill aligned with the drill seal and the hole for the drill firmly and apply the air pressure both hands. Keep all the hands and with the trigger and throttle until you're ready to start the drill operation. When drilling, keep your balance and never to get too far close to the drill. Wear safety shoes and the safety goggles. Impact the goggles with heavier than protection and hard hat. Never rest any air tool on the toes of the boot. Never point the drill in any other position. Starting air drill while laying on the ground. Do not use the body of the control the air exit the drill. Never point air hose at it yourself, and always bleed the air line before removing the drill. Alright, the chainsaw figure 1247, the heavy-duty pneumatic design primarily for the cutting trees, timbers up to 24 inches. The primary diameter cleaning operation for the chainsaw is used to successfully accomplish heavy timber construction such as bridges, bunkers, and culverts. Your nail driver and pneumatic drill driver and the 1418 light member of the reciprocating Precautions family of the tools, primarily driveling large nails and spike with the drifting pin with the heavy timber construction nail driver that's equipped with the proper attachment, also be for the purpose such as the riveting, shearing heads for the bolt and riveting, removing scale and rust of metal objects. Drill, the pneumatic drill figure 1419, heavy duty low speed design. This drive ship the auger type. Pneumatic drills should be extensively bridges and other construction work. It is necessary to drill holes in bolts and pins. Your circular saw, the pneumatic circular saw, is built with a heavy duty with the timber construction work. It may be used with ripping as well with the cross cutting. When the circular saw is equipped with the appropriate brave with the disc of the specific material cut, and it may be used with a cut, brick, or stone, concrete, tile, or similar material. Safety rules for the pneumatic tools are as follows: keep the hands and fingers off the trigger of the throttle until the ready of the start with the tool. Always keep your balance and never get your face too close to the tool. Figure 1417 show the pneumatic chainsaw. Figure 1418 show the pneumatic nail driver, and 1419 show the pneumatic drill. 1420 show the pneumatic circular saw. Wear safety shoe with safety goggles, impact goggle, hearing protection, hard hat. Never rest any of the air tools and toes. Do not allow horseplay. Do never point the arrows on yourself or the other ways. Always keep both hands on the handle of the tool while operating. Always bleed the airline before removing it from the tool. Alright, your crawl-mounted rock drill. The section provided the basic terminology procedure with the rock drilling operation and extensive knowledge and skills required to perform the effective rock drilling operation. Most gained through the formal training on-job experience. A component of the quarry operation contains all the items equipment needed for the drill of the crawler-mounted rock drill. The driller is self-propelled using designated primary drill, vertical and angular blast holes in rock. Consider the operator maintenance the manual to obtain the information on the type of the rock drills you're assigned. Mainframe. The mainframe of the steel for the fabrication design with the stand the terrain and put for the operation of earth terrain. The mainframe provided for the mounting of the base of the various components of the rock drill. Track oscillation is controlled by the two hydraulic cylinders connected with the brackets as well as both sides of the mainframe and the brackets welded to the track. The cylinders and permit the 20% of the track oscillation dynamic, setting the oscillation shock when the traveling over the rough terrain, stabilization unit, setting up the uneven ground. Your traction driver, the track driving the traction device consists of the parking brake axle piston motor with the brake valve with the plant gear reduction. Traction driver, equipped with the spring-loaded hydraulic release brake. The brakes are equipped with automatically hydraulic fluid directed with the motors to have the unit of the brake valve located with each of the motors to the hydraulic circuit that prevents the equipment from uncontrolled runaway grades on each brake. Controlled train valve mounted on the main frame. Your crawler mounted rock drill. This is a centralized foot piece of the drill controls some console, the guide cylinder, the boom lift cylinder, the drill guide, extension guide swing, the guide dump cylinder, the extended boom, the oil cooler, the operator seat, fuel tank, main frame, track framer. Power unit. The power unit supplied with the rock drill with the hydraulic pneumatic power, with the consist of the engine with the 4 coupled gears, pumps, the compressor air with the receiver, the tank inlet manifold, and return manifold, hydraulic pneumatic piping. Hydraulic system. The boom guide set up with the control valve with the drill. With the control valves are located on the side with the control guide. With the control valves are located on the front side of the power unit. Relief valves are inside with the left door with the return suction lifters. They're located in the top of the hydraulic tank. Pressure compensating valve with the chain with the rod RPM according to the drill condition located inside the left door. The 4 pumps of the oil is found as valves. The pump 1 provides the oil for the right side, tramming slow and fast drilling. Pump 2 supplies the oil for the left side, tramming drilling fast speed. Pump 3 provides oil and high speed for the tramming rotation cooler. Pump 4 provides the oil high-speed tramming dust collector, centralizing cylinders, auto rod changers, if so equipped. The oil cooler. The oil cooler maintains safe temperature for the hydraulic oil compressor in all climates, located at the top of the power unit. All temperatures, oil passed by the cooler through the cooler bypass system. The air system consists of the compressor air and with the receiver tank and with the blow air circuit with the dust collector, if so equipped. The air loop system. The air is connected with the engine, flexible with the coupling compressor air with the delivery of the receiver tank, located with the backside of the power unit, the power air compressor air with the mixing with the compressor oil with the substitute, separated with the oil receiver tank, and then distributed with each of the systems. Separated compressor oil is sent within the oil cooler. Wherever the receiver tank is under the pressure of the compressor, discharge of the air from about 230 cubic feet per minute with the discharge air pressure at about 100 psi. No common cause of a low discharge pressure for the clogged orifice of the muffler located on the upper right left corner of the rock drill. The dust collector is equipped with a stepping pulser that sends the discharge every 26 with the knocking off the cutting, the filtering of the drop chute located at the bottom of the collector. Control console. Control of the drill guide or only with the drilling the cylinder. Move it to all engine control trembling valve cylinder valve located under the operator sheet figure for 422. The boom. The rock driller is equipped with an expendable boom commonly called the mammoth. The boom can vary from 5 feet in length with a fully retractable full extended position. Extended booms are constructed with a square lifting steel tube and the dump base hole at the front of the end clevis, the rear end of the clevis hinge with the pedestal holding boom base clevis to the kingpin. Alright, 1 serve the starting valve panel, 2 serve the engine throttle control panel, 3 serve the tramming control panel, 4 serve the gauge electrical switch panel, 5 serve the hydraulic cylindrical panel, and 6 serve the operator seat. The pedestal is free to rotate the boom bay for the boom is free to swing up and down with the pedestal. For example, to assemble the universal the joint with the permanence of the boom to be swung side to side, raised and lowered. The clevis as well to the bottom side of the boom tube that supports the piston and with the lifting cylinder. Clevis as well to the right side of the boom tube to support the piston and with the swinging cylinder to it. Dumping, swinging assembly hydraulic pump dumper, then swinging the assembly support with the piston of the drill guide with the assembly graded 180 degree drill guide dump with a 90 degree drill guide swing. Guide swing and extension mounting the hydraulic power guides extension will extend with that drill guide with additional covers to place the drill guide foot it and firmly against the guided additional stability. Drill mounting. The drill mounting consists of the drill guide with the drill mounting plate, the centralized foot piece, feed chain motor assembly, a hose reel plate with the drill guide upper end of the drill guide is fitted with the hydraulic feed motor with a combination centralized foot piece and both the lower end of the guide. The drill mounting plate. The drill mounting plate that is clamped and trebled the drill guide with the aid of 4 roller bearings. The feed chain, the drill guide was fitted with a heavy-duty roller chain with the drill mounting plate. The chain passes over the socket lower end of the guide with the drive of the sprocket with the feed motor for the upper end of the guide. The chain with the 2 chains for the joint, both ends with the connector at the bottom of the mounting plate with the link joint. Your feed motor assembly, the hydraulic power feed motor assembly incorporates the planetary gear drive with the bells over the upper end of the drill guide, brake valve with the inside with the hydraulic cylinder circuit with the before the hydraulic feed pump promoted with the brake valve absorbs the shock with the hydraulic feed motor. The shock lowers and prevents the simultaneous drop of the drill. The feed motor feed with the drill. Feed chain drill mounting plate up and down with the drill guide. The feed motor is capable of exerting a pull up to 4,410 pounds. The hose reel plate. All hoses for the drills are connected to the wave of the hose reel with a hose holder attached for the rear right medium drill with the drill guide. Traveling. The crawl mounting the rock drill over the long distance. The drill guide with the horizontal position is shown in figure 423. The traveling of the drill with the pattern. Keep the drill guide vertical position. Travel the rock driller using the tramming control panel for which 1424 follows forward, pushing the trammel control up and forward. Figure 423 shows the rock drill travel position. 424, show the tramming control, right hand tramming lever, left hand tramming lever, right hand oscillation lock handle, left hand oscillation lock handle, backward pull, both tramming control lever, pivot turn, push to the right, left, right or left tramming control lever until the pilot is opposite of the track works of the problem. Right turn, push the left traveling control lever forward, push the right tramming control lever backward. Left turn, push the right tramming control lever forward, push the left control tramming backward. Speed, adjusting the speed of the controlling, adjusting the forward angle of the tramming control lever, the seventh stop of the rock drill, the release the tramming control lever, when the traveling return the neutral position, machine stops automatically, same time parking brake works after completion of the traveling lock levers. Note, when working in tight areas, stay away from the surroundings, ensure that all the personnel stay clear of the rock drill with the traveling and the turning. Drilling, when the drilling of the rock is performed with the drilling control console figure 425, the function of the complete with the drilling console as follows. Figures 425 show the drilling console. 1. The fast feed control valve of the lever achieve the cleaning of the holes, changing the seal, push for the drill, move the fast feed with the wind, push for the drill, move the fast feed with the lever, returns automatically in neutral release. Drill, control lever, the lever, control the percussion of the drifter of the drill pressure for the higher portion of the position lever. 3. The rotation control lever, the lever control of the forward, backward rotation speed of the drill seal. Lower slow speed control lever, the lever achieve the drilling, bore holes, coupling, uncoupling, drill steel. The push of the drill steel move forward with the slow speed, the pull of the drill steel move with the backward and slow speed. The feed pressuring adjusting control valve. This control valve adjusts the feed pressure during the drilling. The push of the turn of the knob at the right with the feed force to increase the turn of the knob at the left and feed decrease the feed pressure gauge. The feed gauge indicates the amount of discharge feed air pressure. 7. The drill pressure gauge. The gauge indicates the drill pressure during drill. 8. The rotation pressure gauge. The gauge the rotation pressure during drilling. The blow pressure gauge. The gauge indicate the discharge air pressure. 10. Blower control lever, the lever control the amount of the air that goes through the drill. Steer clear for the cutting of the bore handle, level the turn towards the operative blow valve, increase the gradually level the turn away from the operative valve is open fully. Note, when drilling, open the blower control lever fully, blow extension control lever, extend, retract the boom, blow lift control lever, lowers lever the raise, the lowers the boom, blow swing control lever, the lever is the swing in the left end with the right with the boom. Guide dump control lever, the lever control the 180 degree forward and backward movement of the drill guide. 15. Guide control lever, the lever controls the swing in the drill, maximum swing drill with the guide 45 degrees and 45 degrees to left and right. The guide extension control lever, the lever extend with the guide, additional extension open 5 feet. The anti-jamming system with the off of the control valve during operation, anti-jamming system with the keep the drill off the steel with the borehole. 18. Vapor soul system on the on and off valve during operation 40 gallon storage drink. Storage tank, the Vaposol system throws mist over the water down the drill hole to control the dirt and the dust. It can be used while drilling to prevent a cave-in the loosening material of the borehole. And 19, needle valve control of the amount of water injected to the blower area. And 20, the panel lamp switch. Positioning with the drill. For the positioning with the drill is reach for the valve of the position rock drill. Use the traction lever the place of the collar chain, adjusting the horizontal position possible with the track oscillation. Levers then oscillation lock handle the drill position to keep the rock stable with drilling. Note that the drill operator should be approached with the marked borehole straight as much as possible. Position the driver guide over the spot to be drilled. Extend the guide down until the second third track roller is just off the ground. Position the drill guide in toward the rocker drill. Compensate with the pressure angle of the boom. When position the drilling before drilling, make sure the guide is vertically level by using the builder's level on the front of the side. Drilling operation before drilling, make sure the blow air pressure guide indicates 100 psi. The drilling procedure as follows. Open and blow control level to emit the air with the drill steel bit. Note the two types of drill bits are used in the Navy construction for the roller bead and carbureted. Insert start the forward rotation, pushing the control lever toward the console. Push the drill lever toward the control console to start the drifter conclusion. Push the slow feeder valve. The collar hole should be carried out with the alternate moving the feed lever there and down up until it has been penetrated with the 3 to 4 inches in solid rock. Note, make sure the holes do not deflect the desired hole direction. After successful collars made up of the push rotation lever, the lower level all the way, then push the feed lever. Note, speed the drilling and the rotation automatically according to destiny of the rock formation. The hardening the rock faster than the unit will drill. Use the control lever desired speed. Precaution, pay attention to the vibration from the hydraulic hose of the driller. The hose vibrates normally. The accumulator of the drill is damaged with the gas pressure drop the abnormally due to the gas leakage. Pay attention to the yawning of the drill mounted. Following yawning with the drill mounting caused by improper feed pressure, adjusting the feed force, from the feed pressure adjusting valve. Alright, note the improper feed pressure shortens the lack of the feed chain with the rod sleeve of the shank and also results in the poor penetration rate. Adding extension rods component with the rock drill, using adding remove the extension rods shown for 26. The adding extension rods, commonly called drill steels, are as follows: feed the drift down and holding the coupling onto the centralized fin. Engage the drift hanger until the coupling is loose. Reverse rotate all the way drift and back out with the coupling. Run over the drifter into the top of the drill guide. Make sure to grease the drifter shank of the tamper bar. Ensure the coupler remains in the drill seat down bore hole. Attach another coupling to the drill shank of the tamper bar. Add an additional drill steel forward. Rotate until it's all the way coupled. 4. Lift the coupling centralizer. Open the centralizer. Continue drilling until the coupling completed the centralizer. Once the coupling is passed, control the centralizer around the drill steel. Removing extension rods. Once the rock drill has reached the desired depth, remove the extension rods performed as follows. Clean the hole completely before removing the drill steel with the rotation control level to the neutral position. Stop rotation. Play for the coupling on the top of the centralizer. Allow the drill hammer to shank the loose for the coupling thread. Shove off the drill. Reverse the rotate steel for the coupling. Keep an eye on the coupling that connects the drill shank of the drill steel with the coupling will work. If the loose faster with the lower coupling, it can fall. 4 rate or 6. Run the drill drift down to the coupling that is resting on the centralized for 7 forward, rotate the drifting into the coupling. 8, return the drifter attached to coupling the drill steel to the top of the drill guide. Figure 126 complete component for the drill guide. 1 is the shank, 2 is the coupling, 3 is the rod, 4 is the coupling, coupling, 5 is the centralizer. To remove these successive sections of the drill steel, you must repeat the steps outlined in the note. Clean lubricating all drill section coupling before starting all drill. 4 consecutive bore hills. Drill steel should be rotated or changed. Alright, safety. Personnel involved with the rock drilling operation must adhere to the safety guidelines used in the U.S. Army Corps of Engineering Safety Health Requirement Manual AM 38511. Additional precautions are safety equipment such as double hearing protection, safety goggles, respiratory protection, hard hats, gloves, safety boots must be worn at all personnel involved with the rock drilling operation. Remove the retract the foot drill over the drill the guide with the drilling face, moving the drill with ridge so they can do extensive damage to the hydraulic component of the drill guide. Never use the reverse rotation drill to break the tilt, striking coupling joints. Do not allow personnel other than operator to ride the rock drill. Do not operate the drill with the coupling resting with a centralized arm. Do not move the drifter rotation control lever to the forward reverse without reverse stopping the drill. When securing the drill position the drill guide with a 90-degree vertical position. When the operator operating with the rock drill with the operator seat, all personnel must stay clear of the drill console. Visitors unless suited with the properly, all safely must clear of the rock drilling operation in a distance no less than 50 feet. Secure all drilling operations during the thunderstorm condition. Use the gloves and handling drill steels, coupling bits, and compensate with the green. Get extremely hot when you're rocking early operations. Miscellaneous construction equipment and maintenance equipment. We're going to cut the tape there.